Hi guys, in today's video I speak to my college coach about her starting her side hustle and how it has transformed into a business, and also like the reason why she does it, and also some fun trivia at the end. Keep watching if you're into it and enjoy. So let's talk about how did you start and why did you start?
So I had a job that didn't pay a ton. So, but I mean, it's like the whole old saying, like champagne taste, beer budget. So I really wanted to furnish our home and make it look beautiful, but I didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I went thrifting. That's when I kind of started thrifting, was uh, just trying to furnish our own personal home. And then, you know, I started to find really neat things. I'm showing my husband, like, look how cool this is, and he's not too interested. So he's the one actually that told me, he's like, why don't you start an Instagram? Maybe you'll find a community that cares about vintage finds. And I was like, there's no way people are gonna follow me. But I did, just because I was desperate to find a group of people that could appreciate vintage finds. And eventually I started to connect with these people. It was fun, like just interacting with the people that had similar interests. So that's really how it started. Eventually I got the attention of a few like antique vintage shops, and they reached out to me and asked me if I would buy for their store. And I was emotional about it almost, because it was so just, I felt flattered, and so that's how I started actually purchasing things that weren't coming into my home. And it was a lot of fun, and it was low risk. I mean, if they didn't want it, I didn't buy it, so it was cool. And then eventually I started to sell to the public because they said no to a couple things that I just really loved and had my heart set on. And that's when I started selling to my Instagram followers.
Cool. Now, I know from before that we talked, you said like the shop is in honor of your mom. Can we talk about, I don't know if it's too personal to talk about the one text you told me that you got. If it's too personal, we don't have to talk
No,
about
it's fine.
Okay.
Are you talking about
When you got the picture
wait, a picture
of like a beautiful
waterfall? Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
So when my mom passed away, you know, I mean, for people that have gone through something like that, they get like it was really heavy on me and my family. And the story that you were talking about with the cell phone. So I was getting text messages from a random number saying LU, good night, LU. And I let it go on because I really didn't know who it was. But eventually I was like, they were every night, LU, good night, LU. And eventually I was like, who is this? And person texts back, mom.
Yeah.
And my initial reaction was anger. So I was like, someone's playing a trick on me and this is not nice.
Yeah.
And then my second reaction was like, it's just an honest mistake. So I text them back, you have the wrong number. But they wouldn't stop. LU, good night, LU. And for a while I was getting upset. You have the wrong number. Look, my mom passed away. Like, stop texting me. But they wouldn't stop. LU, good night, LU. And then one time this person, so a couple weeks later, they start texting me like pictures of babies. And I'm like, why is this person texting me pictures of babies? And at that point, I kind of thought maybe it was my mom. Because I don't know what you believe. I'm skeptical of that kind of stuff. But I was like, this is weird. And they're not stopping. And so I kind of had comfort and found comfort in it, And then LU Goodnight was continuing. Then a few months later, they started texting me pictures of like waterfalls and like a beautiful place, like, and just beautiful like nature pictures to say LU Goodnight. And I don't know what this is, but looks like they're enjoying themselves. And then the last text I got was, this place is so beautiful. I wish you could be here with me to enjoy this. I'm going to go to sleep now and picture you here. LU, good night. Or close my eyes. She said, close my eyes and picture you here. LU, good night. And I never got a text from that phone again.
Wow, like that just gives me, like when you first told me the story, like gave me goosebumps, and like I feel something in my heart. So I don't know, like I just thought it was like really good to share it just because.
Yeah. No, I mean, I felt a connection to my
Mhm.
mom, and whatever you believe, like that happened, and
Yeah.
it's unexplainable, and I got goosebumps too
Yeah,
when it
I know.
happened.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay. So, like, how did you handle the growth of Cassandra's finds?
I mean, initially it was just like, I'm just gonna hustle.
Yeah.
Like, I just worked hard, and as it grew, I just worked harder. Like, that's kind of how I handled it initially. And then as it started to grow, where we're selling to people, you know, I think I had a strong work ethic, but I think this is important. I cut myself some slack on some
Yeah.
mistakes, because when you're new to something, just like anything, it's not as simple as just posting pictures. Oh, my life's so easy, I
Yeah.
sold it. Like, it's a lot more complicated, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of other moving parts, and there's shippers, and there's customers, and there's people that, you know, maybe were unhappy at one point, you know,
Yeah.
or another. So just kind of being patient with myself and giving and understanding that, because we're new at this, and I'll say we, because my husband helps me a tremendous amount, just understanding there's going to be mistakes. Let's learn from this mistake. And just really making sure that the customer at the end of the day is really happy. So if that means I need to take a financial hit on my end, like, I think that helps with growth. Like,
for sure.
because I actually care about
Mhm.
them. You know what I mean? It's not just the money. It's
Yeah.
about them, and it's about making sure that they get the piece that they love and adore. So that's how I've handled the growth up until this point. I think probably the next step would be getting more help, not just me and my husband. So.
Yeah. I mean, going with that question, what keeps you going? I know, like, we talked about how you actually like to bring a beautiful piece to a person's home, and I feel like sometimes when somebody starts a business, they want to make short-term gains that are not gonna reap off the result in the future. So, like, for example, a real estate person like could be selling homes after home, but he's that doesn't have the right ethic. And so, like, when he's like getting a person or a family the best deal, word of mouth is gonna spread, and everybody's gonna go to him. I feel like. Um, so, what's your take on that? Like, because I know, like, to you is not about the money; it's about bringing a nice piece to a person's home.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's just, I think it's important to have, obviously, ethics and integrity,
Yeah.
but also it needs to be more than just about the
Mhm.
money, or else you're not going to do a good job, or you're not
Exactly.
going to do an exceptional job, I guess.
Mhm.
So for me, yeah, my why is helping people find pieces for their home. I think it's so important. And maybe people would disagree with me, but when I get home and I've got like a lovely home and pieces that I'm proud of,
Yeah.
like, I get excited, I feel good. And then even just visitors coming, like, they come and we've got like a lovely table set up, or we've got, I don't know, a lucite coffee table that stirs up conversation,
Yeah.
or like a wicker bird in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun. Like, it's just it matters. Especially for me, I'm like raising my family, obviously, in this home. Like, I just think my mom really taught me that, like, being surrounded by beautiful things, it
Yeah.
affects your attitude.
For sure.
And it makes you feel more comfortable and welcomed. So yeah, I mean, if I can do that for someone, yes, to my core, that's what gets me fired up
Yeah.
about doing what I do. And so, yeah, I mean, I get so excited. I get emails, and I get like messages on Instagram, and people say, you have no idea how long I've been looking for a piece for my
Ooh.
living room, and was exactly what I was looking for, and thank you so much. And I'm so happy for them. Like, it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with me. It has nothing to do with Cassadra Finds even. It's just about them and making sure that their home, they can be proud of it,
Yeah.
you know? So it's really neat. That's the best part. That's the best part of this.
That's so nice. Now, because you started this on the side and you just started doing it and it became like your second job, I think. What message would you give to someone who hates their job?
Who hates their job?
Like, because like you said, your initial job like wasn't paying that much, so you started thrifting, right? And
Yeah.
eventually that led to something because you liked it.
Right.
So could you? I mean, I don't think you don't hate your job.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, someone who hates their job could like do a side hustle and like really love it.
Right. Yeah. I think just from me personally, like a message that my dad instilled in me when I was young was find a job that you love and you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And so that was said to me on multiple occasions growing up. And also when I went to college, choosing my major, my first job, like, is this something that sparks my interest? Is this something that's meaningful to me and rewarding more than just the money? Because right now I feel like I'm not working a day in my life.
Yeah.
And so, and I do have friends that are in jobs where their intention was just to make money. And that's fine. I mean, that's people's choice. But for me, I want to live every day. I want it to be fun and exciting and rewarding, and I want to make a difference in people's lives. And however I'm doing, and so I really need to check in. I think there comes decisions in your life, you'll have a path to take, and I think you just really need to look into yourself, deeply into your heart, and decide for yourself. And I think you'll have a lot of chatter and a lot of people in your ear saying you should be doing this because of the money, you should be doing this because of the status, you should be doing this because everybody thinks you should be doing this. And it's like you really need to learn to quiet the noise and focus on your values and focus on what's important to you. And that's when you start making decisions. And then once you stay true to your values, I mean, life's not easy, but it kind of is, because you're making decisions based on what makes you happy, what's best for you. And then choice after choice after choice, it's domino effect. And before you know it, you're doing stuff that you love.
That's awesome.
And you're making money.
That's great. Just because people lose, especially right now, like for me, was like, I was like listening to everything, like what everybody else like was expecting of me, what everybody else wanted me to do. And like, I just started listening to Gary Vee, and like he says a lot of truth. I read like his books, and like just being true to who I am, like dressing up, like I wasn't like dressing up for a while, and like I had forgotten how happy that made me feel, and like how confident it made me feel. And so like I think like we have a perspective, like we always care about what other people say, and sometimes money makes us happy, but sometimes we say, oh, people are gonna think I'm selfish. But honestly, like if money is something that makes you happy, then go for it. And I mean, I think you talked to me about that too. Like some people like status, and like if that makes them happy, then they're gonna work for it. And like it's something you shouldn't deny, you know? And like I think that's so powerful, to really tune into yourself and like find within yourself what is that you really like doing.
Absolutely. Like you're the kind of person, whatever you put your mind to, you will find success. Like just from being around you, I know that's who you are. So it can be kind of deceptive, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm finding success, I'm making others happy, but what's missing with me? Like what is missing? And it's the joy. It's your joy, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Okay, so every time Coach would give us like this trivia questions when we were like onto a race or something.
Okay.
So I contacted the team, some of the team, and I asked them for some questions that she should know if she knows her team.
Oh no.
Okay, so we're gonna start with an easy ones because she should know this.
Okay.
Who holds the record, and what is the time for the 5K,
Oh.
women's 5K? She always asks this question, but she should know the answer.
Kelly Persnowski holds the record for women. 1720?
Almost?
Okay. You know I'm bad with times. Like,
1721.
Okay.
How about the men's 8K?
Okay, Argio Cruz holds the record, and I think it's 24:45.
24:51.
Okay.
Okay.
Make it sound faster.
So now the current team. Who on the women's cross country team can solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds?
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yeah.
They never tell me this. My best hunch would be Julia.
Yeah. Okay. Which boys on the team have girlfriends?
Which boys on the team have girlfriends? Joe, Braden.
Is this two?
Oh, I'm done. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So who has been a mascot before on the girls team?
My goodness, this is like skills I never knew about. Who has been a mascot? Jill?
No.
Who?
Maddie.
Oh, really? Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, now this is about the guys. Who
Okay.
used to play football before running cross country?
Austin?
Yeah. Who used to play soccer?
Cole?
There's two more.
Joe? Braden? Bryce. I know Bryce
Yeah,
did.
you got
I
Cole,
know Bryce.
Bryce,
Oh,
and Braden.
Oh, Braden. Okay, yeah.
Who used to play basketball?
Jan.
Okay, that's it. Who used in the girls team? Who used to want to be a mailman?
Oh my gosh. These are so funny. Want to be a mailman?
Yeah.
I don't even like Emily.
Yeah.
This is so funny.
Okay. So, how many boys were born outside the United States, and who are they?
Jan
Mm-hmm.
outside the United States. So Jan, Lucas, Bonnie, Leo.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Another one from the guys. Which boys were born in a state outside of Florida, and what states?
Born in a state outside of Florida. I know Braden was born outside of Florida. I think like the South, like Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, something like that.
He was born in Delaware.
My bad. Is that it?
Oh, there's two more.
There's two more. Outside, well, Jan, right? Or does he not count? He's international or like outside the United States.
State outside of Florida.
Outside Florida.
Not Jan.
Not Jan. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's one more.
Yeah.
Oh, Bryce.
Yeah.
California, I think.
Texas.
Or Texas, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, last one for the guys. Which one of the boys had the fastest PR, personal record, coming out of high school, and what was his time for the mile?
For the mile?
Mm-hmm.
You know I never look at the mile for the guys. I look at only the 2 mile. And this is the current team?
Yeah.
Austin.
Mm-hmm.
What was his time?
Yeah.
4:18.
4:23.
Okay.
So, since you have a similar addiction, you kind of should know this.
Okay.
Who had their first cup of coffee at 2 years old and became addicted?
Jill.
Yeah.
She told me that. And I remember.
That's
yeah.
her. Yeah. That's
so
all the
funny.
questions.
Okay.
I'm glad. Thank you for sharing some of your knowledge with me and everybody else.
Thank you.
Thank you.